Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to go through a few stories today, so timestamps down below.
Perfect.
Sarah did not coach me on what to say at all.
I did a little bit. How's it going, everyone? Big weekend last weekend. The FA Women's Cup was in full swing. I think it was 5th round. And the two exciting games we kind of half watched were the Chelsea game and the Arsenal game.
Oh, I remember you sleeping through them, Sarah. What are you saying? You watched them?
I tried my hardest to get up.
Yes, I was present, and you were sleeping like a little baby.
I was. But big game, Arsenal against London City Lionesses, 2-0. And we got to see Jenna Nighswonger's debut as a gunner. And beautiful. She started, and a lot of people found it interesting. She did not start as a left back, how a lot of people thought she was going to be on the team. She actually started as a winger, higher up, and so people were surprised by that. Surprised Renee made that decision, but as we talked about last time, Renee is making some just trying things out. Jenna did get subbed out at half, but it was great to see her out there.
Yeah, it's nice to see her in red.
She looked great. 2 big goals, one by Codina in the 32nd minute, and then Blackstenius in the 81st minute. But also, the Codina goal, Kyra Cooney-Cross got the assist on that. And I keep pronouncing Kyra Cooney-Cross's name incorrectly. I keep saying Kyra. Someone left us a comment. A few people have left us a comment saying it's Kai, like Cobra Kai, Kyra. And I keep saying Kara, like car, like Tara, Kara. So I gotta work on that. I don't know why my brain automatically goes to Kara.
It could be anything.
Yeah, so I'm gonna work my hardest. It's Kyra Cooney-Cross. That's why I don't know if anyone noticed, I said KCC last time because I always say Kara. But we give a hard time to the announcers on the broadcast, and we always say, hey, they're the paid professionals. They're paid to say it absolutely correct. But you and I talk about her enough that we need to get it correctly, or I need to get it correctly. So I didn't want to point that out.
I think KCC is a safe way to go.
I know, right? So big game there. The other FA Women's Cup game that we kind of watched was Chelsea versus Everton, and big 4-1 win there. 2 penalties, and I heard some kind of talk where they're both penalties. Who knows anymore what actually is a penalty. Big win there over Everton, but I will say the Everton player who scored in the 17th minute, actually that was the first goal of the game. It started 1-0. Big Olympico goal, which those are always fun to see.
Those are wild.
Yeah. Actually, we're leading until the 36th minute. So, Chelsea fans out there, how do you think your team played? Because we kind of talked about it. Chelsea against lower level teams haven't been playing amazing. I mean, you would think they would kill a team like Everton. They kind of ended up, playing really well, but fun game. That was the 5th round of the FA Women's Cup. So those were the 2 games we kind of half watched. But the big story of the weekend is the one we're going to talk about now, which I'm sure most people have seen it. Upsetting story. And it actually came from a game that was played over the weekend as well. A game against Barcelona and Espanyol in the Liga F league over in Spain. I guess I'll have Sarah read from the article, then we're going to discuss it because there's a few parts to this.
Barcelona's Mapi León accused of violating intimacy of opponent. Defender denies touching rival's private parts. Espanyol offering legal services to Daniela Caracas. Espanyol have expressed their complete discontent and condemnation of an unacceptable incident in which the Barcelona defender Mapi León appeared to gesture toward the crotch area of their player Daniela Caracas during the Liga F match between the sides on Sunday. The incident, which Espanyol said should not be overlooked, occurred in the first half of the derby when León was being marked by Caracas before a set piece was taken. León has since denied touching Caracas's crotch or having any intention to do so. During the match, FC Barcelona player Maria Pilar León, while jostling with Daniela Caracas, made a gesture with her hand that violated the intimacy of our player, Espanyol said on Monday in a statement. Although Caracas was unable to react at the time due to the impact of the situation later, after assuming what had happened, she became aware of the seriousness of the gesture, but chose not to react angrily in order to avoid a disciplinary sanction that would harm the team. In a statement released via Barcelona's website later on Monday, León said, "At no time did I, nor was it my intention, infringe upon the intimacy of my fellow professional Daniela Caracas. As the images show, it was part of a playing action in which she deliberately touches me and I touch her leg, saying in reaction to the clash, 'What's up with you?' There is no contact with her private parts and certainly no intention. I insist it was just part of the game. That does not warrant the importance that has been attached to it. The idea of touching the private parts of a colleague would never enter my head. It goes against my principles and I would never do such a thing." As part of their statement, Espanyol condemned the act that threatens the integrity of football on the field and said they hope these types of situations are treated with the seriousness they deserve. The club added that they have made their legal services available to Caracas in the event that she wished to take legal action. The Barcelona defender added, "There has been noise and controversy surrounding my name, aimed solely at damaging my image and principles by spreading manipulated news and events for other purposes, evidencing the week that we are in. I am deeply upset and disappointed, and hence reserve the right to take legal action against whomever might be seeking to exploit this strictly footballing incident to cause me damage and continue spreading unfounded accusations."
So I'm sure most people know what, we reread the statement, but most people know what's going on. Caracas was marking León during the corner kick that was just about to be kicked. And you could tell Caracas, was aggressive in the shoulder area. And you could tell Mapi didn't like it. And that part is normal. Hey, let's shoulder you. I'm not going to like it. But what it looks like happened next is that people think she basically said, whether it was in Spanish, is, do you have a male genitalia? The derogatory term for that. And then touches her in that area. Grab, touches, and that's kind of where everyone's saying, hey, that's not right. You can't do that. And that's wrong and criminal. You can't do that. Then Caracas's team came out and said this action shouldn't go unnoticed, that there needs to be a consequence for this action, and also said that they are putting their full legal teams behind Daniela if she wishes to pursue legal action, if she chooses to go forward. Then Mapi León came out with a statement and basically said, what's being said about me isn't true. She basically said, no way was I intentionally touching her in that place. My hand touched her leg. I did not do this. And not only did I not do this, anyone who insinuates that I did this and talking derogatory about me, I'm going to sue them. So she came out full-throated saying that I didn't do it, which is wild because, it does look like she did something. And also what happened after is also upsetting. I'll have Sara read this.
Since the incident, Caracas has been subject to abuse on social media from hundreds of profiles, according to Espanyol, who expressed their concern that media attention of the incident had been diverted to other issues unrelated to the seriousness of the action. The statement continued, We would like to express our rejection of any form of violence, whether physical or verbal, in the world of football.
Yeah, she's saying she's getting abuse on social media. People are coming and threatening her because we know how social media works. And Daniela has been subject to racism and horrible things, and social media, when people are faceless, will say really disgusting things. But going back into that statement where Mapi was describing the incident, as a lot of people, when the incident first came out, a lot of people thought she said the Spanish words for, do you have a, expletive. She says in her statement, she says that she said, what is wrong with you? I believe that was the statement. Like, what is wrong with you? That's one thing she said she definitely did not do or say. And I don't know if that can be proven or not proven, because a lot of people are saying that she said the derogatory thing, which I believe. Like, I'm not saying I don't believe or disbelieve either. I personally couldn't tell because I don't speak Spanish. And I asked Sarah speaks Spanish, and she couldn't necessarily tell either. But the second part where she grabbed that area, that can't be disputed. She grabbed an area. I guess she's saying the area she grabbed was different than what the club says that she grabbed. But I mean, we all saw the video, and that's kind of where you make up the decision. Since we saw the video, we can kind of tell as people with eyes what we think in that regard. But I guess in my opinion, looking at the video, it does not look as innocent as Mapi is laying out. I think she got annoyed that Caracas pushed her, and I think in the moment of being annoyed, she committed harassment. And I do think, and I think her saying that she's going to sue people who say that, it looks like it was purposeful. Is there any possible way Mapi realistically looks at the video and says, oh no, I just touched her leg, I didn't say anything to her? And I mean, could there be a possibility Mapi actually thinks that? Sure. I'm not discounting that. It's just, as someone who sees the incident on film, it looks like it was pretty obvious that she let her anger get the best of her, and she did something that she really shouldn't have done. That is a form of sexual assault and awful.
Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know.
Because this is the way I look at it. If she were to come out and say, I did it and I feel bad and I feel so horrible and I please have my apologies, I think a lot of people would say, okay, you show that you are genuine. You feel bad and that you'll never do it. If you feel bad, there does need to be consequences. But what she did instead was come out and said, I'm gonna sue anyone who says that I did do it. And I don't know if she means she's gonna sue the club or just, regular media people, or I'm not actually quite sure about that. That part's a little bit strange. I guess the question is her head. Does she really think that's not what she did? Just by the naked eye, it looks like it was purposeful, and that's upsetting. And a lot of people have made the kind of correlation is she had a lot of problems with the situation with Luis Rubiales, and a lot of problems there. That saying, how can, and she kind of does something that is similar to that.
The irony of her refusing to play for her national team due to the disgusting conditions, as well as everything that has happened with Jenni, for her to do this.
Yeah, because there is Jenni Hermoso she actually just testified against Luis Rubiales recently, and overlap in timing of what happened to them. And some make the argument, well, Luis Rubiales had control over them, who he was going to put on the team. He had control, a power dynamic, but it shouldn't matter in situations like this.
Doesn't look good either way, whatever happened or whatever they think happened.
And then some people are saying, hey, this kind of thing's normal in football. I saw a couple things on Twitter that showed, men's soccer doing it. And what did we talk about last time? I don't think it's normal. I still think it's sexual harassment, but I don't want men's soccer to be women's soccer. That's another thing where maybe men do it. I don't think it's right there, but to equate that as men's soccer, I think that's also very problematic. I mean, most people, most people are outraged. I mean, if you go on social media, rightfully so outraged. I'm sure Barcelona is in support of Mapi's statement. And I don't know. I don't know if now Daniela Caracas wants to sue Mapi or whatnot. Going back to, did she say the thing about, do you have a blank? Because that, it comes across as very transphobic, because saying that in a situation like that, some people are even saying this should be a lifetime ban for Mapi León, that she should be banned from soccer forever. Because if you look at the video, the idea of a trial, you look at the video, that's the evidence. The evidence looks like she did what people are accusing her of doing. And that's horrible. So it doesn't look great.
Awfully upsetting situation all around. Okay, I'm gonna read this comment that I see. For those who don't think it's clear, they were pushing each other. Mapi stopped, looked at her face, then looked down, then touched her, in that order. There's no chance she did that by accident.
And then I see a comment here from someone that says, Mapi asked, what's wrong with you? And touched her leg. I don't see an issue. So based on the video, I think people can come to their own conclusions, what they think happened. Sarah, to be completely honest, Sarah and I have to be careful what we even kind of say, because that's just the way the world works in a way. So what does everyone think? Obviously, we'll see what happens if any legal action is taken on either side. And like I said, if you go from the raw video of what we saw, it doesn't look good for Mapi. And, Mapi, what Mapi says is that is her stance. And social media to start attacking Caracas, that's another part of it. It's almost like you almost don't want to say anything because you're going to get attacked too. The way social media works, it's horrible for her. And a lot of racist and racial abuse, and it's horrible. And, talking about the power dynamic with Luis Rubiales, the power dynamic in this situation is true too. In a way, Mapi León is on one of the biggest clubs in the world. She's one of the most well-known players in the world. And there's a lot of people who will defend her, even if she is wrong. And people will say really horrible things to Caracas. And it's upsetting to see. And hopefully Daniela is okay. And Mapi fans, some people might support Mapi and say, she didn't mean anything by it, or she didn't do it, is being accused of her. I guess that's if they decide to take legal action. I don't know. And I don't know if Barcelona or the Liga F can come up, if they're going to have any type of repercussions for Mapi. Because I think that's the thing. I think if the league sees this and says, we're going to take actions against Mapi, that's the thing about when you do something wrong. There has to be repercussions. Yeah, there has to be consequences and repercussions. And like I said, I'm not judge, jury, and decider, but it didn't look good. And I always, it's right there on video. Like, you can take from what you see it, and it doesn't look good. It looks bad. It looks very bad.
And even if it was like an accident, or even if she thought she touched her on the leg, I don't know. It's pretty aggressive. It's a pretty bold movement, and I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. Good. What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below, and it's not good. And I even see a lot of fans saying, I see a lot of Mapi fans saying, hey, we're big Mapi fans, but what she did was wrong. Someone goes, I love Mapi León, but she needs to be held accountable. She needs consequences. So a lot of Mapi fans are saying, hey, they're big Mapi fans. Her statement was kind of wild. I will say, I was not expecting that. I was expecting her statement to say, hey, I made an error in judgment in the heat of the moment, and I apologize. That's actually what I thought her statement was going to be before it came out. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, questions, comments down below. Any update on this, we will talk about it. Also, the Sam KERR trial. By the time this video comes out, there might be a verdict in the Sam KERR trial. So many heavy things going on. Oh my goodness.
Yes, what the heck? Yeah. Man, we are this the end of the world, or what?
I know. But that verdict will come out probably on Tuesday. The jurors into the jury room to decide to come up with a decision. So that will probably be out tomorrow. So we'll do a video about that as well. But like I said, any new information about this story, we'll talk about as well. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.